He has started screen share, and he will be talking also non-farm economic activities, ecotourism, and nature education. He is the chair of the Central Himalayan Institute for Nature and Applied Research in India. Over to you, Dr. Mehta.
Yeah, hello, Simon. Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me clearly. And hello, everyone. Nice to meet you virtually again after 4 days. I was there in the previous session as well. And as Simon mentioned, my presentation is on mountain livelihoods, rural micro enterprises. And I'll be talking about non-farm economic activities, mainly ecotourism and nature education as well. Yeah, so the potential for non-farm economic activities in the mountains. So I have divided my presentation into these different activities which can be taken up in the mountains, which are already prevalent there, but we can just look for markets and work for the livelihood of the mountain communities and improve their economic condition. But at the same time, when I'll be discussing all these things, I think it will be learning for all of us. Let's take this opportunity as a peer-to-peer learning as well. So in the chat, whatever is being done in your respective country and region, so you can just put it in the chat, what all activities that you all do in your region or you have been working on. So my presentation, it will cover handicrafts, different kind of handicrafts which are there. Processing, I think the earlier speaker, Eke already spoke about processing and NTFPs, where I'll be talking about apiculture, dairy products, ecotourism, and nature education. So if we see, the mountains, and I think these sheep rearing and goats are very common, especially in the Himalayan region. And so the raw material for handicraft is already available. And we already see, there are different, say, breeds of sheep. There are different breeds of goats according to the climatic condition. You can see the goat species, and this is from one of a region where we work in Uttarakhand in India. You can see the long hairs of these goats, which is also used for weaving purpose, for coats and other garments which the ladies use. And at the same time, we, the mountain communities, already have the skills of weaving. It is part of our culture. It is part of our tradition. Here you can see on the left-hand side, an old lady. She has her own loom, and she's weaving a blanket out of these, the wool that is extracted from the sheep. And on the right is a carpet loom, which is again traditional. The colors are very natural. They use the natural dyes. They use the local wool. And a lot of these, the wool, the raw material is wasted because they don't have the market. And there is a need for marketing of these products. We can see there are few initiatives, taken by different organizations. Here is a pashmina, strolls. Then we have these carpets, different style, different design of carpets. And because the market is, very small, they have the limitation. They can just directly, go to the headquarters of the district. District is a administrative, say, a division of a bigger area. It is, and they don't have the capacity to go beyond that. Even at a country level, they don't have the outreach. So, but these kind of handmade carpets and handmade garments, they have a big market. Now, everyone is aware, they want to pay more for these handmade products. So this is an area where we can look for marketing, and we can identify these kind of traditional, say, products. And here I requested one of my friends working in Kyrgyzstan. She was with me, and I asked her to, share some photographs. And here you can see the lady on the left here. She is just making the thread out of the wool, and they are making these local products, and which are being sold in fairs and in other, say, markets and all. And then another handicrafts are the wooden handicraft. You must be seeing, some of these familiar cones on the right-hand side. Now, for the mountain communities, we see them regularly, these pine cones, these cedar cones and all. But for the downstream people from the cities, these things attract them. And here you can see people, this is from my hometown, Nainital in India, where people, they have just, clubbed these cones, they have put them and made them as, decorative as they can. And they get good prices for it, almost $10, and people are ready to pay for these things. And on the left-hand side, again, you can see these wickers and some, wooden handicraft which are there. So these kind of handicraft have, potential for marketing and for improving the livelihoods. And again, if you see these lovely carvings, and these are the traditional wooden carving of Ladakh. And if you go to Ladakh, which is a cold desert in India, it is also called the Makkah for the bikers. And you will find lots of bikers coming from different parts of the world. And this is the traditional architecture which is there. But now, people want to take these things back home, especially not the doors and the windows, of course, but these tables are made in this walnut wood. And you can see the carvings, dragons and all. And these are very costly tables. They almost cost $400 to $500. And when I used to work there, I used to see them, but I couldn't afford it. But yes, there are foreigners who take these things. And I'm sure these kind of wooden crafts are available in all the regions. But we need to promote these culture. Otherwise, these artisans who are there, the art is slowly declining. And if they get a better market, if they get a global market, I'm sure this, this craft, this tradition will remain for long, and they will definitely get a better livelihood. This again, you can see this is a newly constructed house in the last village of, Uttarakhand where we work. It is near to the glaciers. And if you see the doors and the windows, they are so lovely carved. And now what is happening is people have moved to the cities, but now they want these kind of doors and windows in the houses. This is from the town where, people have bought it from these artisans and they have put it in their houses, and the houses look lovely. And this is again from a town from where I belong, Nainital. So these things have immense scope. We always just think these things from the cultural point of view, just from our architecture, but from the livelihood points of view, these have immense scope. Again, bamboo handicraft. If you see, in most of the Himalayas, we find different species of bamboos, and it is again a art and, and traditional knowledge of the people. They have been using these bamboos for making handicraft, mainly for their own purpose. They make these wickers, which they use for their daily purpose in the kitchen, and also to take manure, to bring back their harvest, and also mats, and also for housing purpose. But now, as part of our programs, we are trying to, give them a skill training to make some products which can be sold in towns and all. So like the flower pots, the lampshades, and the other, dustbins, wickers. So these kind of activities can also be taken up. Again, another important area is the dairy sector. Now, different mountains have, in different regions, they have their own local breeds, and the milk of all these, animals, it differs, and the quality differs from place to place, region to region, and they have their own, importance. Here is this picture from on the right. You can see Fontina cheese. This is from Italy, and we, got an opportunity to visit the cooperative of the farmers of this Fontina cheese, and this is very popular in Italy. And this, you can see, this is a Fontina cooperative store in Italy. And now this store and the storage is inside a mining area, which used to be a mining area. It is a 3 kilometer long, say, tunnel now, you can say. and you can see how it has been stored, and you can see the demand of this, cheese. And we can also make similar kind of products like goat cheese and the other indigenous species that breeds that we have of cow and buffaloes, and market those kind of products. This is again from Kyrgyzstan, the farmers cooperative. They have now done the value addition, and it is being marketed to cities and towns. Then I think the previous speakers spoke at length about NTFPs. And on the left, if you see, these are flowers of rhododendron, which are grown in the Himalayas, different types. You can see the red ones, the pink ones, and then it can be processed. It is very good for lungs and heart, as it is said, and it is marketed in the cities. So these kind of small initiatives can also be taken up. And there are many other NTFPs which were discussed in the previous sessions. So we can, just value addition to them and market them and give a better livelihood to the people. Epiculture, again, on the right-hand side, if you see, these all logs are the traditional beehive systems, which were very common in the Himalayas. But the honey that is, produced, it is mainly for medicinal purpose or sacred purpose. We need to, make a hybrid kind of thing between the modern technology and their traditional knowledge and improve the production of honey. And honey here, I've kept it in the non-farm sector because the land holding is very small. The nectar that is collected is mainly from the adjoining forest, from the pasture land. So it has, medicinal values, and it can be marketed at a premium price. And apart from honey, there are many other products we can, propolis is something, a black kind of a sticky substance which sticks here on top of these boxes. When the bees come, it is mainly to repair their boxes, but at the same time, it has medicinal values, so it can be marketed. Then bee venom is very popular these days for treatments, so that can be marketed as well. Then coming to tourism, we have been talking about ecosystem services from the mountains. And one of the important, ecosystem service is the aesthetic and the cultural ecosystem service, which we must capitalize, because every mountain ecosystem is different. It is unique. It has cultural values. It has aesthetic value. And I was blessed, and I am still blessed to be born in such a lovely town. This is my town in Nainital, which is in India. So it is the hot spot for tourism during the summers. It is fully packed, and there are many other destinations. Know that globally, mountains have are the second most visited place on Earth after coastal areas. And similarly, if you see the tourism scenario of Nepal, almost 1.05 million jobs are directly or indirectly related to tourism. We know that during COVID, it is also a country that has been hit, badly because tourism has gone down. But we hope that, in coming times, the situation will be better and the sector will revive. But it has immense potential. We have only few areas which have been developed, but there is potential for many more. You talk about skiing, you talk about mountains, you talk about pasture lands, you talk about waterfalls, lakes. We have everything. And as I mentioned, every place is unique. We just need to develop it sustainably and market it. And if you see these, skiing resorts, so more than 1/3 of all ski resorts are located in the Alps, but we have immense potential in other places as well. And then another sector is the wildlife lovers. So we can have tourism related to biodiversity. We have these rare endemic species in the mountains. We have the brown bear, we have the marmots, which are found in the cold desert. We have pandas, we have the snow leopards. Just from a snow leopard, many of our cold deserts, they get immense, revenue from tourism. So these things again, but we need to involve the locals, so they can be benefited through this tourism. Another sector in the tourism, is the rural responsible tourism. And especially, after COVID, people want to go to these offbeat destinations where they can be in isolation, and they can enjoy the rural lives of the people. So this is a tourism which can be started with minimal cost, and it can give the best experience to the tourists. Here, on the right, if you see this traditional house, we have developed two houses as homestays, and without any cost. It is just the people who have developed one room and have good clean bedding and a good toilet, and we started promoting it through Facebook and through our website. And we have started getting tourists. There are students coming for the internship, staying with these communities, learning with them, and the people also learning about the culture. Here you can see the tourists dancing with the say the locals. And also the cultural tourism. Every mountain, they have the unique culture, and people want to learn about the culture of these mountain communities of these regions. So this is something that we can promote. And then after say COVID, everyone is concerned about health and wellness, and this is something we can promote in the mountains, because we have clean air, we have clean water. We are known for meditation. If you see all the yogis and meditating, there you will see the picture near the mountains and near the Himalayas. So, and the rural areas, I think, are yet to be developed from tourism point of view. And lots of people have migrated back to the villages after the pandemic, and this is one sector which can be developed and developed sustainably to improve the livelihood of the communities. And farm-based tourism, because when you talk about organic or natural agriculture, I think the mountains are by default organic, and people not only want to consume organic, but they also want to see how it is grown. So this is another avenue which can be promoted, the farm-based tourism. And then coming to the nature education in the mountains. So we have been discussing, and we will be discussing throughout this the summer school, that the importance of mountains. And I think the downstream people also need to realize what is the importance of the mountains in their livelihood, and what are the ecosystem services that they are getting. And also our coming generations should know the importance of mountain ecosystems. And we, as part of Chinar, we conduct these nature hikes during the winters, during the summer breaks for these kids, and also for the citizens, where they come, to us, and our facilitators, they tell them about the biodiversity, ecosystem services. They're doing bird watching on the right, if you can see right and left, both sides. So these kind of nature education programs can be taken up. For education, we have started this Himalayan citizen science group, where citizens, photographers, and everyone, they join these groups. And from time to time, we organize these photo competitions. They take part, on different biodiversity issues, whether it's flora, fauna, and landscape photography. And then we try to give them a digital certificate, but it is just connecting them with nature. Then these are the affiliations that we have with different universities and different organizations. On the right, if you see, this is Xavier University of Sustainability. They send their students to us for 1 month and 2 months of internship, where they stay in the homestays and they work on a topic related to say environmental issue or development issue, and they come up with good theses and papers. So this is the kind of programs that we can take up. Then we are also associated with the Mountain Partnership, and as part of this Mountain Partnership, whenever there are webinars, we participate in it. iPromo also organizes different programs related to say nature. They have a iPromo program, which I'll talk later in my next slide. And they also organize a schools. I think it's on agrobiodiversity. So these kind of programs are there, and we are also associated with them. Then there is a corporate called Wipro. They have a foundation, Wipro Foundation. So they run Wipro Earthian Sustainability Program, which we run in our mountain areas with different schools, educators, and students. And then we are also associated with IUCN, the Nature for All, which is associated with nature. And you can also be part of these IUCN Nature for All. You can join their groups. There are many other commissions, within IUCN. So whichever commissions you are interested, these are free of cost membership. You can just log on to IUCN website, go to their commissions and just send a request, a small form, and be part of these IUCN commissions. Sorry, yeah. And this is the iPromo summer school I was talking about. FAO, I got a chance to be part of this in 2017. And this is a summer school which is organized in the Alps. They take you, to different towns and cover different lectures. So it is your classroom-based as well as field-based program for almost 3 weeks. And there are fellowship available. So you can apply. Since past 2 years, they have been doing it virtually. But I'm sure that in coming times, things will be better and it will be again offline, and you might get a chance to go to Alps and learn about all these things which we have been discussing in this summer school as well. And I think even this summer school, it was proposed to be in Ukraine, and most probably from next year we can have it in the field. And it will be a good opportunity to also learn from the region as well. So I would end by just saying that opportunities are immense. We just need to innovate and market our mountain ecosystem and products, but also considering the sustainable mountain ecosystem development. Thank you so much for your patience listening, and you can just write to us and we would be happy to collaborate, because take this opportunity as networking as well, because these kind of tourism and the other things that we are talking about, mountain products, and I think if we can come up as a global mountain community, we can definitely give a better livelihood to our mountain communities. Thank you so much, Simon. Over to you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta. That was fascinating. And you're right, such beautiful landscapes. And let's hope that 2022 we can get back to some sort of normality and start to have students and interns associated with these areas. It's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.